Nice. Hey, I'm Brian Merrock with Beta USA, and today we're going to go over bleeding the brakes on our Beta 300 here. Let's get right into it. All right, so I'm just going to go over a couple of things that we're using here for bleeding the brake systems. I have what's called a vacuolator, or this is also a pneumatic bleeder. So it uses air to suck the fluid out of the system, which is really nice for high volumes of fluid, which is nice when you're flushing the system instead of just trying to bleed the air out. So if you don't have a setup like this that you're able to use, we have a trusty hose and a water bottle to collect the fluid. Pretty straightforward. We'll just use the pump and bleed method, but this is just to catch the fluid as it comes out of the system. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and take the cap off of the reservoir here for the rear brake master cylinder. And if you'll notice, I'm wearing some black nitrile gloves. One, because I don't like the feel of the brake fluid on my hands, but two, and more importantly, we want a nice clean environment here. We don't want to get any foreign debris or anything in there that could contaminate the system and cause problems with the fluid flow. So we're gonna go ahead and set that aside. I've got these blue towels ready to go to keep a nice clean environment. So this fluid's pretty dark. This system has obviously maybe been neglected, or maybe it just went through a really hard race and the brake fluid in there got worked pretty good, but it should have like a nice honey color to it depending on the brake fluid that you're using. And this is definitely looking a lot more like coffee. So we need to get all that fluid out of there and then flush the whole system. To do that, like I discussed earlier, I have this pneumatic bleeder here. So we're gonna go ahead and get that hooked up, and then we're gonna use it to suck as much fluid out of the reservoir as we can before we start flushing it through the system. So now we've got all the fluid out of the main reservoir here. We're gonna go ahead and give everything a little wipe down while it's all nice and clean and make sure that no contaminants get in there. And then we'll go ahead and top it up with some new brake fluid. So if you notice here, even though the system looked pretty clean, you can see there's quite a bit of dirt that came out on the rag. And it doesn't look like a lot, but that amount of dirt inside of your hydraulic brakes can actually cause flow issues and prevent the fluid from coming back into the reservoir, which is gonna leave your brakes locked up. So that's contamination. We gotta get rid of that. So you wanna make sure you use the correct brake fluid for your system. Here we have the .4, and it's available in many different options, but of course we're gonna go with liquid moly. Once we get the reservoir topped up and ready to go, we're gonna go ahead and get the brake bleeder set up so that we can get the fluid flowing through the system. Now I like to remove the little rubber nipple cap back here so that your wrench can go on just a little bit further and allow the brake bleeder or the hose for your bottle to get onto there really nice and tight so you don't get any air sucking back into the system while you're bleeding it. So with a pneumatic system like this, the fluid's gonna go pretty fast, so you wanna stay on top of it to prevent air from getting sucked into the system. So we're gonna do about 2 full reservoirs here, and it's gonna go pretty quickly. It may not look like it, but it's actually flowing pretty quick. We just wanna top it up as it's going to make sure it doesn't suck air. And like I said, we'll probably do about 2 full reservoirs, and then we'll start trying to bleed the rest of the air out of the system. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and lock it down here now that we've got a couple reservoirs full through there. And as this is pumping, we're gonna go ahead and pump the brake lever, and that's gonna build up pressure in the line and hopefully cause some of that air bubbles to seep out the back here and build some pressure in the system. So we'll give it a few pumps, crack it, tighten it back up. Just like a normal bleed system with the old school setup. Okay, and then again, you just want to keep that reservoir topped up. The enemy is air. We do not want any air in the system. So the brake pedal's starting to get some good pressure feedback, and that's telling me that most of the air is out of the system. And I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to the old hose and bottle methods just to show you how that works, and you can watch the air bubbles come out of the back end of the brakes here. One thing I didn't mention before is that while you're pumping and holding the brake pedal, you're gonna crack this bleeder and then close it quickly before releasing the brake pedal. you want to maintain the pressure on that brake pedal so that you don't suck a bunch of fluid or air back into the system when you let go of it. That's why you want to make sure that the bleeder is closed before you let go of the brake pedal. So the trick here with the old school bottle and hose method is we want to try and put a loop in the hose so that the fluid has to go up. And what that's going to do is when the air bubbles come out, they're going to go up and not be sucked back into the system. So this hose will be full of fluid until it gets to that gravitational point where it starts dropping down into the bottle. So we're going to go ahead and give it some pumps, crack it. You'll notice right here, you can see this bubble. It's a pretty big bubble for the brake system traveling up the fluid like I just described. So that's going to not allow it to go back into the caliper as we continue to bleed the system. Now, if you notice, we're getting a lot of little bubbles. You know, you're not getting one huge bubble like that first one, you're getting a lot of little ones. That's going to add up and those will combine over time. So you want to keep going until you're seeing just nothing but clear fluid coming out of there. Now, it could take several reservoirs to get this flowed through by hand, so just keep refilling that reservoir until you start seeing nothing but clear fluid coming out of there. Okay, so at this point, I'm getting nothing but nice clear fluid out of there. There's not even any little bubbles coming out of there. Brake pedal feels nice and firm. You can spin the wheel, give it a little chap, make sure that it's getting a good bite there and has the feel that you're looking for. Now, if you'll notice inside of the master cylinder here, you got a line about 1/4 of an inch or so from the top. That's a general line to fill the fluid to about that height so that when you put the cap on with the bladder, it will keep all of the air out of the system. It'll be nothing but fluid when you put that cap on there. Now, of course, if you want to get it up to that line a little bit higher, when you put the cap on, you're going to spill some fluid, so just be prepared to clean that up. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put the reservoir cap back on, but first we're going to make sure that it's nice and clean and free of debris. So again, nice clean trusty blue towel. We're going to go ahead and give that a little wipe, get all the old fluid off of there that may be dirty, any potential dirt that's built up along the edge of the cap there. You also want to take the time to inspect the little rubber diaphragm that's in here, make sure that it's not deformed or warped. If it is, it can cause issues with the way that the system works. So just give that a good inspection, make sure it's got a good seal on there all the way around before you go ahead and reinstall it. This one looks pretty nice and is ready to reuse. So I've already got the fluid filled up to the line inside of there. One little tip that I like to do is before you put the cap on, you're actually going to hold the brake lever down. And what that's going to do is after you get the cap installed and go ahead and tighten her down, it's going to create a vacuum on the system so that when you release the brake lever, it's going to pull a little bit of the fluid back into the reservoir and remove some of the pressure off of the rear brake pads on the disc. Okay, now that the reservoir lid's on there, we can go ahead and release the brake lever. And we're going to give everything a quick wipe down, and we're going to go ahead and give it a spray with some contact cleaner or chemical cleaner of your choice to get all that brake fluid off of the master cylinder. So now that we're done, before we release the hose, which you can see is full of fluid here, we're going to make sure that the bleeder is nice and snug. You don't want to over tighten these. You can strip them out and damage them pretty quickly, which means a whole new caliper, which means cha-ching. So take it easy. It doesn't take a lot of torque to tighten these down. All right, so we got a rag here. We're going to go ahead and, like I said, clean off that residue. Go ahead and wipe it down if you got anything spilled anywhere. And then, of course, don't forget to reinstall the bleeder cap. Make sure that there's no tears or holes in the bleeder cap, because then it's kind of pointless, right? It's not protecting any debris from going back into that bleeder. There you have it. That wraps up the rear brake system bleed on a Beta 300.